tell people a lot, animation is magic. If you ever learned a magic trick, it's actually really disappointing, just completely. Because you're like, oh, okay, you hid the card behind your hand, or, oh, you tricked me into looking at your hand when really the coin was in the other one, and the magic's ruined, you know? It's simple like a magic trick is simple. One of the things that really helped me was we'd go over to my grandfather's house and play junk. And he basically just like saved wood scraps, and he had a little workshop with little table saw and stuff. And we'd build tanks and planes and get to use spray paint at like age 6 and whatever. It took me a couple of years to realize that, again, not only was that why I liked animation so much, but why I liked stop motion so much. I was like, oh yeah, I like cutting stuff and sanding little tiny things and, you know, doing that kind of stuff. Animation was something that I almost accidentally got into in college. When I learned how to do it, I still felt like I didn't know how to do it until you press play. And then it happens, even though you know how it works, there's still like, that might be alive. I don't remember putting all that in there, you know? The essence of animation, I think, is timeless. It's like painting. It's like, has painting changed? Well, yes, of course, but also no, not at all. It's still people trying to express themselves through medium. When I was under 12, we visited the West Coast. And one of the people that we visited, I'm pretty sure he was a great uncle, one of the first employees at MGM Cartoons, and it actually helped design some of these staple characters. And I remember him drawing Jerry from Tom and Jerry for me. And you know, I had seen Tom and Jerry on TV or whatever, but I didn't make the connection right then, and all I could think was, I can draw a mouse. That was my first character that I made up. That was like almost like a spiteful action from my great uncle, like drawing me. Jerry was like, I can do this, I'll show you up. It's hard for me to think of a perfect dream project, because once a project is finished, for the audience it's just like, that's the beginning point. For me, it's over. One of my biggest influences, or idols, I guess, is Mr. Rogers. I mean, I think that he's a holy person, because you see how people interact with him, and instantly people are softened. If I could have a project that was similar in reach and in tone, I would be very happy with myself. I have won a couple small awards, and then in college, kind of the first bigger project that I did, me and 2 other people co-directed a film that won a Student Academy Award. You know, when you get recognized for something, there's not a whole lot of like monetary value, but there's a lot of like, oh, I'm not just some, you know, other people agree with me, this was decent, you know? I think if I could go back in time and talk to myself right when I graduated, I would tell myself to work harder. I did find some like early success, but I didn't really seize the moment. I thought that things will just start happening to me. And really it's like, yeah, you're lucky, grab that luck and you just like wrestle it and you make it work more for you than maybe it was intending to, you know? I get really depressed if I'm not making something for making something's sake. If I go too long just working on advertising projects, it does kind of scratch that itch of like making something, but after a while I'll get really cynical, just kind of down, and I won't know. It's almost like there's a blockage, that I need to just make something to make something, trying to communicate something outside of advertising or whatever. Dare I say art, try to make a piece of art or something. I tried to convince myself I didn't need to do this stuff, but I definitely do need to do it.